Milanisti, it's your boy Kush. It's been a while. We're back as Football Kush. Not the Milan corner anymore. But here we are for the same stuff as usual. Milan versus Roma. First Milan game of the season for me. Of the year for me. It's going to take me a couple minutes to get back into full flow. But let's just dive into the lineup. We have about 5 minutes to go till kickoff. I'll wait for some of you guys to join in. Because I know I'm expecting some of you guys to pull in here. Slowly I can see in the comments. But looking at Milan's lineup, I mean, we have some changes from what was happening before. I didn't cover Salernitana Milan. 2-1 scoreline for Milan. Performed a little bit better than the 2-1 though. But now if we look at the starting lineup today, Cyprian in the back. As usual, we're still waiting for the goalkeeper to get healed. Is that... I'm looking at the screen right now. That looks like that pop singer from Canada, actually. Davide Calabria is back. This is one of those players that very underrated absence. Probably there wasn't, all the players that we lost, we didn't recognize how much we were actually missing Davide. He was back last game. Milan's playing a lot better from what we were at the kind of closure of the last, part of before the World Cup. Kalulu Goal partnering up once again. Theo Hernandez, kind of semi-vice il capitano for Milan. Ismail and Sandro packing up in there. Looks like it's a pretty bad evening in Milan, by the way, guys. It's raining, it's cold, it's damp. Rebic is looking comfortable in a toque. He's not even really, looks like he's not going to be playing today. Krunic is sitting with him. Up front, we got Alexis. He's back. A few of the injured players are coming back. Let's see what kind of quality Milan can offer. I don't think a lot of moves are going to be made in the winter mercato, by the way. I don't think much of anything is going to be done by the team because they are expecting to get a lot of their players back. Mike Maignan on the screen wearing his cap, not his gloves. That's not a good thing for Milan. But here we go. Brahim Diaz behind with Olivier Giroud. I'm excited to see Alexis play today at the San Siro. It's been a while. 3 months since he's really played. The usual Rafael Leao is back. Players are stepping out now on the field, so this is going to get interesting. I mean, yeah. Here's what I'm looking at I'm getting some interesting requests here, so I'll address those. But yeah, it has been a while, guys. I took a different direction. But we're obviously always going to be making Milan stuff. That's never going to go away. A lot of people are thinking that this is going to be a channel where I'm going to make random stuff. No, I'm always going to be AC Milan stuff, but I'm going to also talk about some other things. Speak a little Punjabi. We got some interesting crowd in the mix here. So it's nice to see some people from India over here, but I'm excited to see how Milan's really going to be performing. Today's going to be my first game. I haven't seen a Milan game in a while. Not in a while. You mean before the World Cup? I covered the last game before the World Cup against Fiorentina. I predicted Amrabat is going to have a good World Cup, and he did with Morocco. So that was pretty interesting to see how some of those players fared. But it's kickoff time, guys. It's raining. It's looks like it's cold. I don't know how these players do it, but handshakes all around, getting ready for kickoff. I'm hoping the timer down here kind of kicks off by itself. I don't have to make any refreshments, but how have you guys been? How's everyone doing? Let me know in the comment section. I've missed talking about Milan, missed talking about just the 11 guys on the field that wear the red and black. Been talking too much about freaking Ronaldo and Messi. I love it, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I love making content about that. I make a lot more shorts right now because I'm setting up putting a new setup together to make content about a lot general football. And then on top of that, make Milan stuff too. So right now I'm just putting out shorts and going live for Milan games until I get into my flow of putting out this content. You guys will probably like it. I don't think you guys fully recognize what kind of stuff I'm going to be creating, but I'm going to be creating some interesting stuff. So looking forward to that. Davide Calabria is back. Pellegrini. It's picture time with the referees. It's going to be an interesting one. Let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think is going to happen today? I mean, we got about we're pretty much looking at kickoff. There's not much time left. So give me your predictions in the comment section. Do you think Milan's going to be winning today? Can we pick up the right result after what Monza did? Paolo Maldini on screen. Always nice to see him. Paolo Scaroni's sitting with him too. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Hold on, there's some celebrities in the crowd, so I'm just trying to pick out who is it. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, Franco Baresi, nice guy. Doesn't speak a lot of English when I met him, but legend of Milan. Yeah, the passing of Gianluca Vialli, they're actually paying homage to him. So I hope we can get Rico from PSG on loan. It's needed. Oh, the Mercato is back. That headache of all the anticipation, is Milan going to pick up anybody, only to realize not much is happening. Fuji's and Funyuns, Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year to everybody, by the way. First game back. Didn't really talk about Salernitana, but I'll do the bigger games, and then you'll see. You'll see what kind of stuff I want to put out. I want to put out some different stuff to what I usually do. What's up, Kush? We need a big 3 points versus Roma. Exactly. Your prediction, Anthony's prediction, is a 2-1 win for Milan. I mean, I'll take any type of Rossoneri win right now. Oh, wow. It's pin drop silence in the game, and all you can hear is the rain. That's pretty cool. And all the players are just looking up there. I think the Milan shirts and Roma shirts, random fact, but Milan shirts and Roma shirts, I think, have the exact same font in terms of the numbers. So if you look at it from a distance, it looks like Roma's wearing like Milan's away shirt. Yeah, Sinisa Mihailovic gone too. Oh man, that was a tough one. That one hit. Vialli, I haven't really seen player coach. Like, I wasn't really into Serie A back then, so it wasn't like as, difficult. But Sinisa Mihailovic was very tough, and I'll be doing something for him too. You'll see. Brian Cristante. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we have kickoff. So I'm hoping this timer kind of sets by itself so you guys can know what's happening. But a bad pass to start off the game from Roma. Possessions in Milan's hands. Theo Hernandez on the left flank. Oh, there we go. The play-by-play is loading up. Let's get that going for you guys properly. Let me just recenter that so you have a good image of what's happening. Shocked that Juventus started. Yeah, I'm not really that surprised. I think a lot of people were giving up on Massimiliano Allegri too soon. I don't think that was a reasonable approach to being. I mean, okay, maybe it was. He didn't really start off well at all. But the turnaround that Juventus has had, it's not surprising, but it is definitely, it's eyebrow raising, if there's any difference between those two things. Mostly because it was more about the way that they were playing that I think a lot of Juventus fans had a problem with. And on top of that, they weren't getting the results. But then they started getting the results. And now they're going to have a lot of players coming back from injury. So I think Juventus, after where things lie now, Juventus are now, give it a couple games. If they can pick up another, 3-6 points, automatically, you just have to say they're back. They're in the title race then. Right? Because right now they're sitting one spot above Milan in second, Milan sitting in third. Stefano Pioli is already looking annoyed with somebody or something. Five losses for Roma last season. Wow, they had 5 losses. They played the Milan teams 5 times and had 5 losses. Here we go on the counterattack. Brahim Diaz. That's a nice pass out to Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao from the left flank. Checks back. Leao with a good cross in. That should have been in. Oh, Sandro. That would have been that link up, right? From Salernitana. That Rafael Leao and Sandro Tonali link up. This is something that the team has definitely worked on. There's no question about that. I mean, this has happened multiple times now, where Leao makes that run on the left flank, crosses the ball in. Oh, Sandro should have scored. That was a goal. If we saw the kind of goal that I think Edin Dzeko scored, who did he score it against? Who did Inter recently play? I can't remember, but they played somebody, not Monza, before this. Napoli, yes. Dzeko's goal against Napoli, that's basically what happened here with Sandro and Rafael Leao. And Tonali just didn't have his head on the ball properly. How's everyone doing? How are you guys doing? What are your expectations from Milan season now? Really? I mean, seeing how the team is playing, what's your expectation? I mean, we're sitting in third place right now. A win today gets us back into second place. A draw today keeps us in third place. Napoli dropped points, so that becomes interesting too. Benacer. So it looks like that Benacer contract extension looks like that's only a matter of time now. And I do think, I think this is something that I can talk about. There's a little bit of a break happening in the game. I do think that there's going to be a sort of an upping of the salary cap that Milan has. I mean, for multiple seasons, Milan had this thing where they didn't want to spend any more than 4 million. They had 2 players that they were going to pick to make over 4 million. A couple seasons back, they picked out Donnarumma and Ibrahimovic to make those salaries above 4 million, but everybody else had to stay under it. I think now, with more revenue, with more advertising, more sponsors, we got like four people on our kits now. That's a dangerous ball in for Tato Rejano, who holds that in. One of the Roma players was just completely left unmarked. Rafael on the counter attack. Is he going to pass the ball to Theo Hernandez? Rafa to Theo. Theo on the left flank. Theo. Oh, that's something. Alexis. Oh, that was a good move from Alexis. How far ahead is this freaking video over here that I'm playing for you guys? All right, it's a little bit ahead. You guys are about 10 seconds ahead. But yeah, looking at what's happening with Milan now, I think Cardinale has decided that he's going to up the budget a little bit for salaries. I can't see Milan right now. Benacer, I think, resigns. I don't think Leao leaves either. I mean, I had reached a point where I was believing that Rafael Leao would probably leave. The only time that he leaves is we get an astronomical offer, which is absolutely on the cards if he keeps playing the way that he has. His performances in the World Cup were decent considering the amount of time he was given. And scores against Salernitana. Let's say he scores again today against Roma. I think Chelsea, especially the one that's been talked about the most, they are going to be keen on Leao. And 120 million plus offer could probably sway Milan. But to me, I think he probably resigns right now. His parents, his dad is expected to be in Milan. His lawyer is expected to be in Milan. So there's clearly some type of a negotiation that is ongoing, and that's a good sign. I mean, they're giving the respect. They're coming back. They're having those conversations to see if we can get that done. But I think Benacer resigns till 2027. That's going to be happening. Oh, nice passing. Who was that? Alexis. Lovely work, Alexis. Davide Calabria on the right flank. Crosses the ball out. Nothing happened there. Lovely touch from Alexis. So Milan's right wing now becomes a little bit interesting, right? So if we go into, let's just kind of scroll up here and look at the lineup here, right? So this part becomes relatively more interesting because now we have Davide and Alexis back. For the longest time, we've been playing Dest. We'd sometimes have to sub and Kalulu in there. Up front, we had Messias. Sometimes Messias wasn't even available. We're trying to play CDK or someone up front on the right flank. Ante Rebic was started as well on the right flank. Now we got our tandem. You can dispute the quality of the tandem, but that is our right flank. Davide on the back and Alexis in the front. They're used to playing with each other for the past 3 seasons, 2.5, 3 seasons. So obviously there's going to be a comfort there. So I think there should be more quality coming from Milan on the right. I don't see us making any signings on the right. I don't think so, at least. Forget about Hakim Ziyech. That boat has sailed so far that even the lighthouse cannot see it, because his value is just upped too much from the World Cup. So now we really have to bank on these two guys, and let's see how they perform today, because against Salernitana, there was a clear difference in our right flank. But now let's see against Roma what kind of quality we can see from these guys. One of the Roma players has been yellow carded, and he's getting crowded. Roma players are really unhappy. Is it Brian Cristante who's gotten yellow? I don't know if that's a yellow. I won't call it a yellow. I don't think that's a yellow, but it definitely was a foul. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. So, top two for Milan. We're playing 3 of top 4 in the coming weeks. There we go. So that'll dictate a lot of how our season is going to be going. And obviously, naturally, the first goal for Milan is to finish top 4. That is the key, but it depends. I mean, if we can get the right results against these teams, obviously Scudetto becomes an important game. But the thing is, what is our focus on the Champions League? Because if we are seriously focused on the Champions League, trying to get out of the round of 16, we're in the round of 16, right? Yeah, round of 16. Sorry, the World Cup changed it all. Round of 16 in the Champions League. Are we going to get beyond that, get into the quarterfinals? Obviously, it's going to be a big financial push. That's going to be a big boost to the team's morale. But it also comes with a little bit of a price, because you do end up sacrificing about 3 or 4 games. That's a good ball in. Rafael on the left flank. You do end up sacrificing a little bit in the Serie A. So we have to see what kind of games are pitched around that Tottenham game. Those 2 games, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, that's the thing. That's pretty much sums it up. You can't really believe anything. Right now, we know how things go. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can see the full comment here. My friend, I don't know. I don't know about 15 millions. That number just doesn't sound right for Milan, right? That's the issue with us. It's like the number is not sounding right to me. Sandro Tonali, nice pass. Oh, lovely passing from the boys. Fantastic. I should have probably gone to Alexis in the middle of the park. Rafael Leao. Oh, easy money. How's that a foul? I mean, Leao is crazy. He's absolutely crazy when he's playing at Milan. Interestingly enough, he does get a little bit exposed when he's playing for Portugal. So he's one of those players that you almost feel like has to be the starter and has to be the focal point. But if he's not, he can be a slight liability when it comes to holding possession, because he gives it up a little too much, and we saw that while playing for Portugal. And we saw that from the fact that their coach didn't even want to really play him. But then again, their coach didn't want to play Ronaldo either, so that's a whole other ballgame. Benacer. Alexis. Ismail. So about 12 minutes in, sits 0-0. Definitely Milan has been the more lively team, creating more opportunities. Roma hasn't really done much. They just won a free kick. Nothing came out of that. So about 13 minutes in, I guess you got to say Milan on top, but have to convert that into some goals. Sandro and Benacer. Brahim. Alexis. Davide. Throw in. No CDK, guys. Pioli knows he has to play Brahim. Oh, Olivier, that was a good ball. I didn't need to do that. Should have just held on to it. Olivier didn't need to do that at all. Brahim, Ismail, Benacer, pass it out to Sandro, goes out to Leao on the left. Leao, is he going to get past 4 players? Nope. Takes a shot on target. Doesn't really get much from that. Masada and Maldini are sitting there. I mean, the thing is, like, you almost get the sense that our obviously you don't get the sense, we all pretty much know this. Our budget just doesn't allow for too much more to happen in our mercatos. That was actually one of the reasons why I considered making content about other teams too, because how much can you talk about rumors that you know are not going to come true? It gets a little bit tiring after some time. And that's what you feel about our mercato right now. Like, we're not going to be making a lot of moves. We're pretty much waiting for the players to come back from injury. We know that they're injured. We kind of see them as new signings because they're returning players. And you just make what you can from that. In some ways, you kind of like why they're doing that, because they're trying to put their faith in the signings they've already made and allowing them to prosper and take time. But then sometimes it also breeds impatience amongst fans because you want quicker results. You want more dominance from your team. You don't want to scrape through 2-1, 1-0 wins. You want some dominance. You want a few games to go 3-0, 2-0, whatever the scoreline is. And the kind of team that we have on paper, I mean, if we look at our 11 right now, really, you can't put that expectation on players like Salamakers and Brahim Diaz. Oh, that's a good ball to Leao. Rafael Leao. All right, nothing comes from that. Yes, if you're looking at our team, you can't have an expectation of always winning matches in a dominant way when you have Brahim, Alexis. He had a really good World Cup, but even to some degree, sometimes Giroud, he can be a little bit slow. He can be a tempo liability, right? Milan cannot break the way that they can if they have someone like Origi in good form. Roma attacking from the right flank with Zaniolo. Zaniolo starts on the left, but he actually pretty fluid, moves to the right flank quite often. He is kind of a right winger, though. That's lovely work. Theo Hernandez, fantastic defensive work. Lots of players still missing. I mean, Ibrahimovic is now back training with the team, or I think he's at least doing individual training. So he's probably going to be back soon too, but dude's 41. So what really is our expectation from Zlatan? Tata Rujanu. Theo is taking off right now. How much can he take off though? Let's see. Lost possession from Leao. Really nothing significant happening in the game right now. Brahim. Nice pass back to Davide. Oh, come on, boys. Roma coming on the counter. That's a good ball out on the left flank. Zalewski. Looks like Milan conceded a corner there. Alexis. That's the thing. Roma has scored quite a few goals from corner kicks. And whoever has been watching Milan for years now, we struggle with corner kicks. So Tata Rushano lining up his players. Leao was standing on the post. Leao should not be standing on the post, my friend. You're a tall guy. You should be in the middle of the crowd. That's a good ball in. Tata Rushano drops that. Couldn't control it, but wins a foul in the process. That should have been a catch, right? See, not to nitpick on specific things that Tatarusanu does. We already know that he's not going to be the Maignan quality. But that should be a catch. Maybe there was a little bit of a nudge on him. But a dominant goalkeeper will just grab that. And that's when you don't have that kind of confidence in your goalkeeper, you start questioning things. Now, we do have Vasquez, the new signing from Milan. That's it. This is what I was thinking about. Salernitana signed Ochoa. Why didn't we? Even when he was playing for Mexico and we realized that Maignan was going to be injured, there were multiple times where I was thinking, I was like, this guy's not going to cost a lot of money to bring to Europe. I mean, my assumption was he just doesn't want to come to Europe, right? I'm like, oh, he just likes to play his football in Mexico. He just likes to play his football in South America. But then Salernitana signs him. And you're like, wait, why didn't we do that? Because you know he's good quality and you know he's good backup quality. And he comes into the first match, plays against AC Milan, makes 9 saves. And most of us are not even surprised that he made those many saves because you know what kind of quality he has. I wish Milan would have actually signed him. Now, what I do know is like if Milan had signed him, the fans probably wouldn't have been very... Actually, no, I think most people would have liked that signing. I'm thinking most people would have criticized him, but we know he's going to be a backup. So anyways, we got Vasquez now. That's the player that Milan went with, and hopefully he'll be given that opportunity or not, and we get Mike Maignan back. Brahim Diaz. Pass back to Kalulu. Kalulu to Tomori. Tomori to Rafael Leao. Leao. That's a good ball from Leao, but Sandro just couldn't get on that. Ficayo. Tomori, relax. Kalulu Benacer. Brahim Diaz still holding strong at Milan. It does look like he's probably going to be leaving. There's a good chance that he goes back to Real Madrid. I think it has to be significantly more convincing for Milan to activate the buyout. I just don't think it's convincing enough yet. Olivier Giroud. Something can come from this. No, Olivier. Just keep it simple. Davide. Alexis. Ismail. Davide took a little slip there. Benacer tried to win the ball back. Roma also makes an unnecessary back heel there. Benacer goes out to Theo. Let's go, boys. Mount an attack now. Leao, move up. Move up. Oh, he's going to go on a solo run now, isn't he? Nope. Uses Giroud. Leao goes central. Leao actually becomes a right winger suddenly. That's a good ball in. Alexis. Good interception. Can he get something out of this? Alexis crosses the ball in. Oh, that was a good ball. That was a good header to Giroud. "20 minutes in. We're sitting 0-0. It's nice to be back. Chat with everybody. I haven't done a live in a month and a half. Channel's taking a slight different direction. It's going to take a bit of time to adjust to the new stuff and new ways of doing things, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, it's probably a good thing we have coaches of the reputation of... I'm just listening to the commentators speak. Probably, it's definitely a good thing for the league that we have coaches of the caliber of Mourinho back here. Taking a hit. That's actually kind of the lines on which the first video that I'm putting together is going to be coming out. It's going to be about the league. It's going to be about the ups and downs and the changes that the league has gone through. I'm trying to put that video out by Wednesday. I hope you guys get a chance to watch it. But probably more videos of that style going to be coming in. Rafael on the left flank. Making that run. Gets away from his player. There's a little bit of space for Leao. Can he make that run? that he's known to know. Oh my goodness, Leao, jeez. It's just the only thing about Leao is, he's slightly at some stages he slightly goes like a skateboard, or just like roller skates. Just the balance is just not there. But that's a ridiculous run with the ball on your feet with 4 players trying to stop you. And how used to it are we getting now to watching Leao play this way? It's just amazing. All right, corner kick for Milan. Benacer. All right, Ismail. Oh, wow. This screen is seriously ahead or something. Ismail. Oh, that could have been something there. Sandro. Nah. Oh, Benacer does foul Pellegrini there. But that was a pretty good corner kick from Milan. Something they've obviously rehearsed. Just didn't get the right contact. Sandro Tonali had a good opportunity, but just couldn't pull the trigger there. Oh, gotta be careful there. Fikayo with the interception. Dybala, if he was on that, Dybala was going one-on-one with Tatorishanu. Kalulu. I mean, it's a 0-0 right now, 25, almost half an hour in. Partly rightly so, considering the fact that both Milan and Roma have good defensive records, right? I think both these teams, if you really look at it, I think both these teams have conceded. I'm just pulling this up. I think both Milan and Roma have conceded the same amount of goals this season, right? So Milan has conceded 16 goals. If we put this together, yeah, Milan and Roma have, Roma has conceded 14 goals. Milan's conceded 16. So both these teams have conceded, obviously not a lot of goals. And so you can see that they have good defensive sides. That was actually one thing that was being questioned about Roma at the beginning of the season, interestingly. So it was all the signings that they made in attack. They had Paulo Dybala coming in, quality in terms of their midfield and attack, but they weren't doing a lot in their defensive line. And right now, they're the third best defensive side in the entire league, behind Juventus and Napoli. Juventus has conceded 7 goals only. 7? That is fantastic. We're 17 games in, guys. That's amazing. Hold on. You almost really start to wonder if Juventus is slowly becoming one of the favorites. If you concede 7 goals in 17 games, you better be one of the favorites to win the title. That's an incredible defensive performance. And their defensive line was also, the dominant guys for the Brazilian team, Alexandro and Danilo. So, good for them. If he can be a consistent finisher, the sky's the limit. I think you're talking about Leao. Sorry, that cuts out there a little bit. My fault there, but yeah, you're talking about Leao. If he can become a better finisher. He has been... Remember the time that we were trying to play him as a striker up front? We kind of saw how his finishing is. So he's probably going to gradually become a better finisher. Oh, that's a good interception. Could have gone to Theo Hernandez there. Theo's completely out of position now. So is there going to be a hole on the right flank for Milan? For left flank for Milan? Zaniolo gets past Sandro. Brahim Diaz. Theo Hernandez. This can be something. Theo Hernandez. Brahim Diaz. Oh. That was good. That was very good. Good breakaway from Milan. Theo to Brahim. Brahim probably should have done better there. I think he's trying to knuckle that ball in. Just the way that he struck that ball, you could tell. But just right at the goalkeeper. Didn't pick one of the corners. Rushed it a little bit. Milan Club Albania. Yeah, Brahim knows he should have scored that one. But we get a corner kick from that. We'll take that. Sandro stepping up for this corner kick. Shot on target for Brahim Diaz. Shot on target. Kind of a shot for Rafael Leao. Looked like a cross in though. Sandro. Go ball in. Oh! Goal! There we go. Pierre Kalulu. That's what we needed. Let's go. Cristante's not happy. Is there a foul or something in the making? I hope not. But lovely work from Sandro Tonali. Lovely work from the entire team. Came from the counter. Theo Hernandez out there. Passes the ball to Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz with a shot on target. Forces Roma goalkeeper into a save. Gets the corner kick. Sandro Tonali with a beautiful kick. Beautiful cross in. Whipped it in. Pierre Kalulu completely unmarked. His man completely lost him. He did a good job of getting out of the way. Diving header. Could have even kicked that ball. I mean, it was so low. Did anyone touch that? Nope. He tried to save that ball. Goal, and I can't see a foul in there. I can't see a foul in there. Lovely work from Brahim. I mean, it's Brahim's shot that forced Milan into this corner kick. Good work. Good work. All right, here we go. 30 minutes in. Milan's up 1-0. We need these 3 points. We need these points. That's good work, boys. I think they might be looking into no VAR check, nothing required. 30 minutes in, Milan's up 1-0. Lovely work from the entire team in the build-up of that corner kick and then eventually scoring that goal. Unquestionably, Milan have been the better side up until now. Really, if we're looking at the performance, Milan has undoubtedly been the better team. And it shows. They are the ones one up. Not the usual way that, Mourinho side plays. I mean, they usually try to get that goal and then put that defensive line down, but they've kept it fairly open for Milan. They were trying to go on the attack. Milan went on the counter. They found a lot of space, forced them into a shot, into a corner, and here we are. These are the teams that you got to pick up the 3 points against, right? These are literally the teams that you cannot mess up against these sides. Right, if we're looking at... Let me pull this up for you guys. I mean, that's big ups to Sandro Tonali for that. Right, for what he's doing here. I'm going to have to make some adjustments here before I show it to you guys. Davide Calabria from the right flank. Good cross in. But nothing comes out of that. Benacer. Goes out to Kalulu. Benacer did go down. Might be a head injury, so we'll probably have a little bit of a break here. I mean, that is what the commentators are talking about right now. That's what has to be mentioned, right, about our guy, Pierre Kalulu. The way that he's become Milan's starting center back, the way he's turning into a high-quality center back when he was not even signed for that particular position, it just says a lot about our team and our management. I guess that's why we kind of have to trust them, right? So if you look at this right here, you got Napoli, you got Juventus, Inter, Lazio, Roma. If you really look at this interestingly enough, you look at the top 6 teams right now, it's one of the rare seasons where you don't have a lot of upsets. You know what I mean? A league should be competitive. All teams should have an opportunity. But these are the top Serie A sides. Napoli, Juventus, Milan, Inter, Lazio, Roma. Right? This is it. Obviously, you can add Atalanta in there right now. You can add Fiorentina, arguably, to that mix. But really, these are the top 6 sides. And they are capturing top 6 in our league. You look at other leagues around the world, you won't see this much competition elsewhere. There's some, oh, that's a dangerous work. Oh, that was so dangerous. Paulo Dybala, maybe if it was on his left foot, that could have been in. Oh, he just slipped and slid beyond everybody. That was fantastic work. Tammy Abraham with a nice back heel. Oh, Dybala nutmegs Tomori, and that could have been so much more dangerous than what would have happened. All right, let's go, boys. All right, getting back into this. So, yeah, looking at that, you got Napoli. What I was getting at was these are the teams that you're going to have to beat if you want to have any chance at A, making top 4, and B, fighting for the title. That's a good ball, but lovely read from Tomori there. Leao with the turn. Teo Hernandez, that should be a foul. That has to be a foul. Come on, guys. You can't complain. Roma's complaining for that. That's not reasonable. That's an absolute foul. I could see it from here. He clearly pulled him down. Stop crying about the fact that that's like something unfair. You're tugging his shirt, my friend. What do you expect? Zaniolo acting all surprised, like, oh, I didn't do anything. Yeah, you did. You pulled his shirt down. Want the guy to play with no shirt? Important 3 points here. That's all that I can say looking at this. Very important 3 points. Now, we're 35 minutes in, so let's not get carried away. There's a whole match to go. And now you know what they're doing, right? Injury times are going to be a lot longer than usual. So we don't know what's going to come out of this game right now. It's a slim 1-0 lead, but this is the way you have to play. Milan has been the dominant side, and you have to stay with that. Kalulu Goal. 4-1 prediction. All right, I'll take that. 2-1 at halftime? You think there are going to be 3 goals coming in right now? All right, 2 more goals coming in? I'll take it. Opinion on Kalulu Tomori duo this season. I mean, what can you really say? I think the proof is pretty much in the pudding, right? You kind of watch the way that these guys have been playing. It's interesting because this was never supposed to be it. I mean, we never really thought that Kalulu's coming in here for being a center back. He was always expected to be Calabria's backup right back. And then that injury to Olivier Giroud. Alexis, take a shot. Good shot. That's what we need from Alexis. It doesn't matter that they didn't go in. That's what you need. You need more decisive decision making. That's exactly what you need. Outside the box, gets the ball on his chest, and just tries to fire in a shot. You have to do that. You can't always try to be so intricate and get beyond every single defender until the empty goal is available for you. You got to take those chances. So, coming back to your question, that injury to Simon Kjaer, and then the drop in form for Romagnoli. And obviously, Gabi has been hot and cold convincing. We kind of happen to fall at this particular outcome. Alexis, nice ball. That's a corner kick. Alexis does bring that extra electricity on the right flank. No question about it. You have these guys, we weren't supposed to have them as center backs. They kind of happened to become our center backs. And I think it was that performance last season against Napoli. There was one match that Milan played against Napoli. Kalulu and Tomori had not been playing as much, but they had been playing for a couple games. And then the way that they handle Osimhen and the pace that they brought into the game, the way that they played, because Osimhen is a very fast player, the way that they neutralized that particular threat as a duo, I think it's solidified for me that, okay, there's something here. I didn't expect Kalulu to continue this season. I felt like, it might be a one-season thing. But the fact that it's continued on to this season, and he just seems to keep getting better and better and more reliable, I think we're sort of also lucky. You have to take that into account too, because I don't think Maldini, when they signed Kalulu, said, oh, he's going to be our starting center back moving forward. So this has been, considering the fact that they paid only like 550,000 euros for him. I have friends who sold houses more expensive than Kalulu. So I think that's where you have to just tip your hat to some good luck, really. And it takes that to win championships, the way that we won the Serie A title. Oh, lovely back heel from whoever that was, Davide. Brahim Diaz, lovely check back. Can there be something here? Oh. Milan's looking good. Davide checking back in the back. I like this. I like the way Milan's playing. Controlling, dictating pace, not letting Roma sit on the ball too much. Good first half for Milan. Obviously, a second goal is going to make that a lot more breathable. Because 1-0 really is... I mean, it's really nothing until it's the 93rd minute. Then it's something. But 1-0s are so easily, reversible, especially when you have a team of the quality of Roma. Oh, come on. If we go here, okay, so Roma this season has scored, all right. See, that's where Roma's faltering. If you look at all the top 6 teams, everybody is inching towards that 30-goal mark, 30 goals scored. Roma has not even hit 20 yet. So I guess that's where their downfall is to some degree. Their inability to have put more goals. And I guess that kind of benefits Milan, but we got time. That's a good ball in. That's a dangerous free kick. Davide could have just made that pass out to Leao on the left. He didn't. Rui Patricio clears that out. 40 minutes in, guys. Milan 1, Roma 0. Nice to be back to doing a live on this channel. Milan Corner, Football Kush, either ors. As long as we all get to sit and watch some games together and chat, I'm happy with that. Brian Cristante. Let's see how Milan closes out the first half now. Right, that'll be somewhat interesting to see. Oh, Davide was completely outplayed there. Oh my goodness, that's a good shot in. That was dangerous. That's a fantastic job from their left back. Easily got past Calabria. That was too easy, Davide. Crosses the ball in. I'm just a little surprised that Tatarusanu made no effort to try and stop that. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to, but I'm just surprised he didn't even make a dive or anything. And to be fair, he shouldn't be diving for that one anyways, because it could have hit somebody's head on the way in. So then he would have been cut out, completely out of position. All right, let's see. This is going to be interesting. Brahim, pass out to Alexis. Oh, that could have, as long as it just had gone out to Alexis there, that could have been something. Dybala. Nice ball out to the right flank. Celik. Back to Paolo. Dybala. Back heel. Tammy Abraham. Pellegrini. Celik with the cross from the right flank. Tata, get it. Come on, man. Davide forced into a clearance there. Corner kick for Roma. Let's see how much added time there's going to be. Probably 2 minutes, I would say 2. I don't know why there would be any more than 2 minutes. There's not been any injuries, just 1 goal scored. So hopefully a couple minutes added on. We can go into halftime with a slim 1-0 lead. Roma, that's a good corner kick again. Tata punches that one out. Oh, nice touch from Leao. Dybala! Shot from outside the box. Tried to catch Tatarusanu. Not on target. Oh, they definitely have Milan under pressure right now. Oh, that could fall to Giroud. Celik. Brian Cristante. Ficayo. Back to Tata. What's the expectation on, when we're trying to see when we're expecting Mike to be back? So the expectation was that he won't be available for the first 2 matches. So right now they can't put a timeline on it because they really cannot figure this out for themselves. And that's really the problem that Milan's having. We're approaching halftime now. Let's see how much added time there's going to be. Theo Hernandez from the left flank. Theo. That's a foul, so that should be something for Milan to walk into halftime with. 2 minutes added on. I'm surprised it's Zaniolo's first yellow card. I mean, the guy's been grabbing some of our guys with their shirts and everything, so... Yes, that's really the thing, right? So the expectation might be that Milan gets him back when we're playing... Spurs is what, February 14th or something like that? So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Ismail steps up. Can we get a goal going into the first half? Clears out. Smalling. Brahim Diaz. Ismail. Sandro. Two Milan players there. Still the Roma guy gets his head on the ball. All right, so we got about 45 seconds to go in the first half. Possession for Milan. I think they're just going to obviously just try and close this out, as they should. It's going to be an important, very, very tricky second half for Milan. You almost sense that you need a second goal. This is going to be a tough one to really pull off with just a 1-0 lead, especially we got it relatively early. And the kind of depth that Milan has or doesn't have. Leao. Benacer. Tough touch. Or hard. Whatever. All right. This is going to be first half for you guys. That has to be it. Let's go. Call it halftime, my friend. Or let Milan attack. There it is, guys. Which am I pointing at? This one. Stream here is a little bit ahead of me right now. But yeah, so your thoughts on the first half. Let's see this. So we're looking at a Milan possession, controlling the possession. I don't think we're doing this the World Cup style where you have Milan and you have Roma and then you have, the contested period. This looks like a 70% possession from Milan. Obviously, that tells you that we've been dictating play, controlling the game mostly. Sometimes you can get into a false sense of security where you feel like you're controlling the play because you have more possession, but you're not actually winning. In this case, we're controlling possession, and we have the score in our favor. Similar amount of shots. Probably a little bit more convincing for Milan. I don't think Tato Rishan has really been forced into any type of a save. Hopefully, he's not forced into any type of a save because I don't know how that's going to go. So hopefully that doesn't happen at all. And both teams with an equal amount of corner kicks won. So, decent performance from Milan. I mean, they've been controlling. And the only thing is you need more goals. It's going to be tough to see the two teams fight out just a simple 1-0 scoreline. Because if you go back to the table here, this is kind of what I was looking at before. And let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this game up until now. But when we're looking at this table right here, we kind of notice that, Roma, and can I highlight this? Let me try. There we go. 19 goals for Roma, 14 goals against. They have the second best record in the league when it comes to getting a third best record, getting scored on. So they have a good defensive side, but Milan's winning 1-0. When it comes to scoring goals, how far down are they? Look at that. That's where they are. Right, if you go from here, this is where Roma's sitting. The only top 6 side that is sitting this far out when it comes to goals scored. So they're obviously struggling in getting the ball in the back of the net. So that obviously something that favors Milan. And hopefully that's something that comes back to help us. But at the same time, a 1-0 scoreline in a tough, tricky match is not something that you can really bank on. So Milan definitely needs to double that lead. And only question is through whom? And that question's answer probably almost always is through Rafael Leao, Theo Hernandez. Brahim Diaz has been good. It was a shot from Brahim Diaz that got Milan that corner kick. So once again, Brahim Diaz leaves his mark on the game. If we look at individual performances from the players, we'll try and look at their rating, but I kind of want to look at the available players that we have. Bench, injured, and suspended players. I mean, I'd rather just... So you look at this. My word, I don't know if you guys can see this on the screen. I just want to make sure you can. This is our problem. This right here. This is our problem. All of these injured players. Half the squad is missing. I didn't know Macias was out. But there we go. He's out too. Origi's out. Ante Rebic is out. So if this Milan side can really pick up the 3 points against a top 6 team like Roma, when they have one injured player that I don't really know who he is, Florenzi's missing. I mean, there is really no depth for Milan. Look at their bench. Their bench is obviously a lot more names than us, and some of the names that we have here are players that don't even really play. I mean, Bozolan, it's not really I don't think he has a professional appearance with Milan yet. Now, in the second half, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And obviously, there's Bakayoko because he's super helpful. So let me know in the comment section who you guys think should be coming up in the second half. Of course, they're picking their players on the screen right now. Rafael Leao is a pick for Milan. Paulo Dybala is a pick for Roma. But yeah, that's really this is the world that we're kind of living in right now, right? So, and it doesn't get any easier for Milan to have to handle this. Theo must be a winger. I mean, he really is, in essence. Now, that becomes key when you have that many injuries. We have, as somebody pointed out right here, right? 9 injuries for Milan. When you have that many injuries, this is what you got to do. You have to shut them down in the second half. You cannot allow them to get back in the game. We do have a little bit of depth. Obviously, again, let me know in the comment section who you guys would pick to come up in the second half. Who would you take off? Who would you bring on? But it's not going to be very easy. We've been able to control the flow of the game in the first half and not give Roma much life in this match. But for sure, we need to get a second goal. Roma's been relatively disappointing if you really look at it. The fact that they're playing at Milan, they're obviously the underdogs in the match today, but the way that their intensity is just lacking, and it's a little bit surprising. But then you also have those, Jose Mourinho sides that are kind of going to sit back and do only so much. They've been open, but they haven't been good defensively when Milan is countering them. So Origi was a waste of money. Can't believe we missed out on players to sign him, and he hasn't done anything. Well, but think about it. He wasn't really a waste of money, though, right? Technically, because we didn't pay anything for him. So he was a free transfer, and we got to be cautious. The guy's gotten 15 games to play, maybe. He hasn't even made 15 appearances because of injuries. If you're speaking from the standpoint of injuries, then yes, it has been a big issue for Milan. And that has been something that has been happening to us for a while now. I mean, we have Ibrahimovic injured, Origi injured, Remember, we had Mandzukic. He got injured. Giroud, in the beginning of the season, also had his injury issues. So when it comes to our strike department, it just hasn't been very convincing. That's why you need people like Pierre Kalulu to come in and step up and score a goal for you, like what happened today. So this is the player we need, right? This is the guy we need to see come back again. CDK absolutely needs to come on to continue to build his confidence. Yes, he had a good performance against Salernitana, almost scored a goal there. I was watching the highlights, and that's kind of what we need. Is we need a player. We need one of our players who is in attack, who hasn't been performing well, to actually step up and become that presence and score the goals that we really need. Although we have been okay on when it comes to scoring goals, but it's just about having that depth available to you. I want to see CDK. I want to see him too. Hello, my friend. How are you? Rohit Rajiv is here. One of the more interesting accounts on Twitter. He has a lot of good feedback and breakdown of how Milan operates as a team. A lot of tactical awareness that Rohit has. So if you guys don't follow him on Twitter, make sure you guys give it a look and follow him. Would you sell Rebic this window? Depends who we're going to get. Right? For me, the thing isn't about which player should we be selling and which player should we be, well, I guess it is about which player should we be buying. If we're going to sell Rebic, who's the replacement, really? Because right before the World Cup kicked off, we had Messias and Alexis both out. And Ante was playing in that role up front on the right flank. So that kind of helped Milan. So, for me, what I would say is depends on whom. Now, how much can you get for Rebic, right? That will also dictate a lot. One of the reasons why Milan let go of Jens Petter Auga is because I think we had signed him for 4 million or something. And then we got an immediate offer in the range of like 10 to 15 million, I believe, from Eintracht Frankfurt. That's a move you make because you can profit. You can add that additional source of income for the team, which is kind of what the video that I'm actually coming out with, which is going to be coming out day after tomorrow. It's going to be a full new series of videos that I'm going to be creating where I kind of talk about football in more general sense. Obviously, I'm going to try and stick initially with more Milan and Serie A stuff, but it's going to be a lot of general conversations about football and like telling you guys football stories. I was actually I was considering naming the channel Football Stories because I just want to talk about like interesting things that have happened and how it unfolded. Now, why did I bring that up? Because, why did I bring that up? Yes, because Jens Petter Auga was sold at a profit, and just talking about how Italian teams have to come up with new streams of income because revenue from TV and revenue from other things is significantly. I actually looked into this. One of the revenue sources, I think international revenue for Serie A, was 650 million euros. For the same 3-year package for the Premier League was 6.5 billion. That's the difference you have in quality in terms of finances for the two leagues. So things can get pretty tricky in Serie A, so you have to see how much you can get for someone like Jens Petter Auga. You have to see how much you can get for a player like Ante Rebic. So I guess that's what my long-winded answer is. Hello, my friend Blake. How are you? I want to see that Belgian midfielder. Can't spell his name still. Well, I assume you mean De Ketelaere. Mandzukic? Yes, when Milan signed Mandzukic last season. When we finished second place, not when we won the title. My bad. You're right, the season before last season. As usual, we're doing well in the build-up phase, but we seem to draw blanks. We're in the final third of Roma. More decisive nature from our star winger and Rafael Leao is also required. You need when you're making those plays and you're making those runs up front, you need a little bit more of a decisive pass. It was that decisive pass from Theo Hernandez that got Brahim Diaz to make that shot on target. So, man, I was just looking at my heart rate. Whenever I watch a Milan game, guys, the heart rate it's flowing. And these lights are on, so the heat. If I do pass out, just like call someone. Oh, all right. I like how Lorenzo Colombo is. Yes, this has actually been very interesting to see how he's developing. And he's getting more confident too. He's saying himself, he's like, I think I'm getting the hang of the game now. And I think I can do more. But, as Rohit says, he's not a Milan level player just yet. We need to find a ball-playing striker, somebody who knows to control the ball, pass, and put in wingers. I think to some degree, on a much lesser sense, he's obviously not the expert in that area. Theo Hernandez does that job, right? He kind of goes from the wings, starts to move to more of the central position, and then engages the wings, dishes the ball out immediately to Rafael on the left or somebody else on the right. But yeah, we probably do. But can we sign anyone? Rohit, why don't you let us know in the comments? Because Rohit knows a lot about Milan. Do you think Milan's going to be signing any new players? Fair point, Rohit. I think CDK is perfect to be our striker, but with Salamakers as right wing, it's going to be hard. Interesting. So you would play CDK up front as kind of like a striker center forward role. I think for me, I have a harder time looking at him in that role, but because of the limited input that he's offered, I feel like it's a role that, in your comment, you're willing to give him, but I feel like he hasn't even really fully auditioned for that role. He's auditioned for the role of the central attacking midfielder where he hasn't done what we need him to do. So seeing him as a striker up front, just it's like an extra leap for me. I'm still kind of wrap my head around if he can even be our central attacking midfielder. So, I mean, that's an interesting take. And if we go back to some of the, we go back to the lineup here, right? So let me pull this up. Let me see how the players have really performed. Opening this up right here. Now, Cyprian hasn't really been tested, so probably a good thing. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that it stays that way. Davide Calabria on the right flank, as I've already said, a player that we were missing for a significant period of the first half of the season, and happy that he's back because I think for me, in my mind, his absence was underrated. I felt like Milan would be a little bit more comfortable, but his absence, partnered up with the issues we were having on the right winger role up front, it really kind of doubled down on the problem that we had on our right. So having Calabria back is really good. And also the defensive presence that he brings, although he was completely outdone by their left back a little bit ago. Pierre Kalulu, right now the man of the match, the goal scorer. This is the area where it gets a little bit annoying, right? You have Theo Hernandez who can attack. You have Rafael Leao. You have Olivier Giroud. You have Tecathlare. You have Brahim Diaz. And then you need your defender to score a goal, which is fine. But let's, we know what I'm saying. We need the attackers to be doing that job and the defenders to be doing the job of the clean sheet. We don't want the defenders to have to do the job of the clean sheet and of scoring goals. But we saw in the last match, Leao, Tonali. So that was, we just need to keep that consistency going. Fikayo Tomori has been a pretty decent figure up front, in the back line, Theo Hernandez making that pass out to Brahim Diaz. That shot from Brahim Diaz then leads to a corner, which leads to a goal for Milan. So Theo's been involved in pretty much the typical way that he has. Haven't seen as much of a link up front between Theo and Leao like we usually see. But still, it's something that I'm happy with how Theo has been playing. Stefan El Shaarawy is coming on screen. I still kind of miss that guy. He had a lot of Milanisti, had a lot of love for this guy. So, but now he's a complete Roma boy. He's played significantly more matches for them. Coming to our midfield, Sandro Tonali with an 8.0. Okay, I can see that. He did get an assist and he's been a pretty decent figure in the midfield, but I feel like he had a couple of missed opportunities too. I think 8.0 is a little bit high for my liking, but sure, we'll give that. Benacer, 2 points we'll talk about. First of all, his performance today, which has been relatively decent. I don't think Benacer has been the way that he usually is, where he's just creating so much and has the right vision to create opportunities for Milan. Just hasn't been specifically that role for him today. He's been sitting back more like a sweeper. But the thing about Benacer that might be coming to conclusion is his contract negotiation, which I believe now, really, let's be real, until something actually concrete happens and you see that picture with the guy holding the shirt with the number written on it. Until that happens, you can't really bank on it. But I think I'm a little bit more optimistic about Benacer's re-signing. I think that's pretty much going to be a done deal. Alexis on the right flank. We don't have the bite. We just don't have the teeth on the right flank with Alexis there. And surprisingly enough, even from Leao on the left flank, they're showing Bakayoko on the field now. Dude's walking at the slowest pace possible. I take walks faster than him. Forget about running. So that tells you a lot. I don't hate on him as much as other people hate on him. I understand. He's like, hey, I have a contract here. I'm making millions. I'm just going to stick it out. Why would I leave? Making free money. So, yeah, I think this says it all. What do you see on the screen? The top 4 players, Leao, Diaz, Alexis, and Giroud, all in the 6s. Says enough. We need more from them in the second half. We need that second goal. Considering that they have this kind of rating and we're still up 1-0, that tells you how the rest of the squad is playing. We need these guys to step it up now. Who's been the main player at Roma? It looks like it's Pellegrini. Dybala came into the game a little bit in the conclusion, maybe the last 5 to 7 minutes, but he's sitting there with a 5.9 rating. That's not looking too good for him. Zalewski is the one who actually had that shot just a little bit off target, outdid Davide Calabria, and Roma just haven't been what they can be, I guess. Because if we're looking at these stats here, you can see enough from there. 70% possession for Milan, a goal up, more shots on target. Well, 2 shots on target for them. They have yet to get a shot on target, so that gives you enough. Players are coming back on the field now. Might be devil's advocate. Let me see what this comment is. All right, let's see. Is it true Benacer's new contract has 50 million release clause? Rohit kind of breaks it down for you here. Has a 50 million release clause, but whoever has to buy him has to pay it in one installment. That means you need to have 50 million in the bank account, which is hard for even City. Looks like the second half is about to kick off. We do have kickoff in the second half, but just going through this right now, that gives you an idea about what's happening with Benacer. So if Liverpool or anybody really comes for him, it cannot be broken down into 25 million now and 10 million then, and then from future sales. No, it's 50 million, and that's it. So let me just take this before we go back to the match. I might be devil's advocate, but I honestly don't want any more striker starters this winter. World Cup players will be overpriced, and I'd rather us focus on depth, particularly the goalkeeper position. I mean, we do have a little bit more depth in the goalkeeper position now. We're back in the game, by the way. Brahim. There we go, Sandro. Out to Theo. Kalulu. Theo. Back to Ficayo. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing the commentator talk about. Is even Roma's signings, they brought in Paulo Dybala, they brought in Wijnaldum, they brought in, the first proper, I believe, campaign for Jose Mourinho in the Mercato. That's when things usually change for the team that he coaches. Then they also brought Belotti on. So for all the changes that they've made, they don't have maybe they don't fully have the results that they want. I mean, at the end of the day, this is going to be a good ball out. Rafael Leao. Ismail Benacer with a glorious pass. Rafael Leao. Leao with a shot. No, my friend. Lovely defense from Davide Calabria. Passes the ball out to Ismail Benacer with a fantastic layoff. A cross out up front. Complete. No lateral move. Just going up for goal. Leao, that was way too tight an angle for him to go for goal from there. Could have checked back and used a teammate, but then again, you have both criticisms for Leao where once you say, you have to be more decisive. You have to take your chances and score goals. And then you also say, hey, why did you take a shot there? So I think it's one of those things. He did take a shot. I don't think that was the best move from him. Man, it's raining. Wow. How are these guys playing in this? This is pretty incredible to watch what these guys do. Let me see some of the comments. Where are my manners? Hi, super happy to see you again. Oh, thank you. How are you, my friend? Happy to see you as well. I'll be coming and going with Milan Lives and some other stuff. You'll see. Putting in a bit of work here. A little bit of change to the backdrop. I hope you guys can actually see. Some people are complaining about the backdrop that, oh, you just don't care about Milan. No, there's Rafael right here. Right there. There's Milan. Right there. That's Leao again. Couple of Milan wins here. So just chill with the you don't care about Milan stuff, guys. Give me a month to show you the stuff that I have to put out for you. KG opening in the first half. The second half, sorry, till now. Calabria. Olivier. Alexis. Sandro, lovely touch. Ficayo. Teo Hernandez on the left flank. Leao. Milan's dominant right now. Roma's just doing nothing. Their fans must be disappointed with this. What they've shown in the first 15 minutes is just not a good product. It also isn't, quite honestly, it isn't a glowing endorsement for Serie A as well. You have number 3 team in the current circumstance playing against a number 6 team. You want better quality from both teams, really. I mean, if you look at the way Milan's attackers have played, they just haven't done it justice. And if you look at the whole way that Roma has played, they haven't done any of the sides justice. Not the defense, not the really the attack. There's individual performances that are doing justice to the quality and style of play. You have Leao, you have Benacer, you have Tonali. But as a unit, as a team, I don't know. It doesn't look very good, guys. You need more. That's a bad ball out for Roma. Ibanez goes out to Zalewski. Back to Ibanez. Pellegrini. Nice switch. Dybala. Paolo. Dybala. Careful, boys. Careful. Dybala. That was pretty good work from, I think, Sandro or someone. Olivia left completely unmarked. Alexis. Let's go, Alexis. Do something. Nice pass for Brahim. Brahim is one-on-one. Here we go, Brahim. Pass it out. Nice work, Olivier Giroud. Don't take too long. Pass it, Olivier. Theo, take a shot from distance. Oh. Absolutely loved the way Theo took that shot. Didn't think about it too much. Just went with it. And that's exactly what you need. Sometimes you just need to surprise the opposition. Don't create. Sometimes just take a shot. That was fantastic work from Theo. Theo's the one who actually created in the first half too, that shot for Brahim. So Theo's sharp. And that's what you need. Really, I mean, having played with Kylian Mbappe, having played with Giroud in the French team, having elevated his quality, his decision-making, right? These are the benefits of having good players that then start playing with the international team. Then they play with the highest quality players there. So you just get sharper. You get quicker in your decision-making. So the way that Theo is playing, at least in this game, the way he's created an opportunity for Ibrahim Diaz in the first half, that was very quick thinking. And again, taking his shot the way that he did. When you play with Mbappe on the same flank, you don't have a lot of time to think. You got to go with your instinct and make quick moves. And that can only benefit Milan in the long run. So happy to see that. Brahim, nice pass. Good work, Benacer. Olivier Giroud. Benacer. Nice dink. Nice dummy. Davide on the right. Alexis on the right. Milan's flowing right now. Smooth work. Alexis. Alexis, pass it back to Davide. Good work. Davide, good ball in. Whoa, that could have been a beautiful team goal. That would have been a fantastic team goal. That's what you need. I love this. This is quality football. Quality football. Flow in the game. Good quality work. Dominating the opposition. It's just like, that, I guess they used to call it Saudi football. It's not really Saudi football. It's a little bit different, but just clean and smooth. It still applies. I mean, this comment still applies, right? This is true. It still stays true for as long as Milan doesn't double up their lead. It's not going to get any easier. It's only going to get tougher. Oh, Brahim. Lovely ball for Olivier. He rushed it a little bit, but Brahim gets the ball back. On the left flank, Rafael Leao. Is he going to check back in? Crosses the ball out. Is there anyone on the right? No. Yeah, exactly. Brahim kind of rushed that one. He had time. He had space. He could have just slowly built something up there. Zalewski. On the right, Roma creating on the right flank. Giroud is a little bit more involved in the second half. Brahim has been a little bit more involved in the second half. Leao, not so much. But Giroud and Brahim Diaz have definitely been a little bit more present. In order to double up, something has to come from that side. There's no question about that. Come on, man. What a terrible pass from the Roma player there. Olivier, staying on it. Claims a header. Claims a head injury, sorry. No, he gets up. Zalewski. Oh, that's a lazy pass from Pellegrini. Right to Ismail Benacer. Got lucky there, gets the ball back. Cristante, Celik. Oh, that's Mancini, sorry. Paulo Dybala. Brian Cristante. Nice work, Davide. Well, I mean, with Davide Calabria coming back, one thing that has definitely happened for Milan is there's a bit more confidence in the defensive line, considering the fact that we still don't have Mike Maignan back. And then we were missing Davide. We were defensively relatively weak. And especially this was during the phase of the Champions League. So for us to get out of the Champions League, make it to the round of 16, and hold on to second place in Serie A, in the absence of Mike Maignan and Davide Calabria, when you put it that way, you start to think and wonder, well, maybe we are really good. That's a good ball out on the left flank for Theo Hernandez. He tried to get on that one. He tried to turn that engine on. Sandro Tonali, come on, Sandro. You got this. That's good work from the referee. Let that play. Right, when you put it like that, you actually do start to wonder if you have a really good team, because now we have Davide back. Slowly we'll have Mike Maignan back. It was certain that he's going to be missing the first two matches, which was these two. But do I see him coming back against Lecce? I don't think so. It's going to be a while. Giroud. A little bit of helter-skelter in the middle of the park there. Tottenham Milan, 14th of February. Valentine's Day special if you want to take your girlfriends out or boyfriends or whoever. I'm actually really tempted to go see Milan, Tottenham in Milan, because I'm probably going to be going overseas in February, sorry. So it'll be maybe nice to see a game. If not Milan Tottenham, I'll definitely watch something. Looks like a corner kick. So a corner kick for Roma there. We're almost approaching 1 hour mark. As I said, it's only going to get harder as time goes on and you hold on to a 1-0 slim scoreline. Well, we need the 3 points. In order to eclipse Juventus, take back second place, Milan needs the 3 points. The shot from distance from Pellegrini. Theo Hernandez. Theo. Nice work. Wins the throw out. Very mature. Very mature from Theo. Kalulu to Tomori. Milan chemistry looks good. Yes, it does. Rafa's having a hard time getting back into the game. Up until now, yeah, he has been having... he's actually been relatively absent. But Brahim and Giroud seem to have been clicking a little bit more. Again, Brahim with possession. How long is Origi's contract? If I had to guess, I'd say probably 2026. Probably. Because those are the contracts that Milan was dishing out. Maybe 2027. But probably 26 is more likely. I'm going to live to watch Milan Tottenham. Oh, you're going to go to the stadium. That's going to be electric. That's going to be a special atmosphere for the first time. Oh, Rafa, come on. What kind of a ball that is? That's terrible from Leao. Lost possession there from Milan. And then wins possession back from Milan. Lesser seen defensive work from Rafa Leao, but we're happy with that. Theo Hernandez goes off. He's just so fast for his own teammates. Ismail. Brahim, you got to take a shot, buddy. Brahim! Shot from distance. Good shot there from Brahim. Or good attempt there. Nice work, Benacer. Brahim Diaz. Brahim has to at least hit the target, my friend. Test the goalie. Try and get a parried ball. Oof. Ismail. Tammy Abraham is making the most of it. He's selling it. Roma, I believe it should have been a red for Ismail. Let's see in the replays if that actually comes out to be. Oh, that's absolutely not a red card. Definitely a yellow, though. Dybala's really fighting for a higher card for Ismail Benacer, so I don't know what that says, but 62 minutes in, Milan up 1-0. Stefan El Shaarawy. So we have a few changes happening. Oh, it looks like Pobega's coming in. Yeah, it does look like Pobega's coming in. So who's coming off if Pobega comes on? Probably Sandro, I would say. I'd be surprised to see Sandro and Pobega playing. I mean, maybe they would, but yeah, I mean, really, it's anybody's guess who actually comes off. If we do look at the performances from the players. So if we go into the lineup, and right here, there it is. So up until now, between the two players, Ismail is actually, that could be a little bit of a reason, or maybe a major reason why this happens, is Benacer now has a yellow card. They probably don't want to risk him. That's a good offside trap for Milan. Yeah, so that yellow card from Benacer, I think, is going to be the reason why he comes off, and Pobega partners up with Sandro Tonali. Probably around the 65th minute mark, Pioli will make that change. I don't know. I haven't really been convinced with Pobega this season up until now. I would much rather we just keep playing with Benacer and just keep him under a little bit more control. Don't make any rash decisions. But I think as the game moves on and as we approach towards full time, Roma's going to be more and more on attack, and you're going to need more and more of those dirty tackles to come in, and that's when you have a risk of Benacer. So probably Ismail comes off. Brian Cristante with a bad pass. Goes out to Zaleski. Cristante's Canadian. I did know that eventually, I found out. But he also has some Canadian in him. He's has Canadian citizenship. He came to Toronto once with the entire Milan squad. Oh, that's a dangerous ball from Tammy Abraham. That's a good ball. Oh, lovely cross, but Pierre Kalulu with a fantastic interception. Excellent work from Kalulu. Benacer. That's a foul. Nope, not given. Alexis is upset. Nope. Go back. That was a really good ball. Matic is coming on. Brings in a boatload of experience. Not a boatload of speed, but a lot of experience. Comes on for the Canadian, Cristante. Zaniolo also goes off. Tahirovic. Benacer, lovely interception. Save Milan there big time. Matic comes on, gives up possession. Too slow, Nemanja Matic. Davide Calabria. Oh. We saw how Adriano Galliani responded to. Oh, that's a good chance for Rafael on the left flank. Pass back to Brahim Diaz. Nope, he goes out to Theo Hernandez. Theo on the left. Kalulu. Sandro Tonali. Ismail. Probably one of his last inclusions in the game, involvements in the game. Kalulu. Not taking any chances against Tammy Abraham. Passes it back to Tatarusanu. Goes out to Fikayo Tomori. Milan building slowly from the back. Theo Hernandez. Switches flanks. Out to Davide Calabria. A few players making a run. Goes out to Rafael Leao. Could have been something there, but not quite. Brahim Diaz holding on to possession. Lovely work from Brahim. Come on, pass it to Leao. Pass it to somebody. There are three of your own guys open up there, my friend. Oh, come on, man. Roma's playing some old school Italian stuff there. Just falling around. Come on, guys. If your guy's not happy with that, he's really letting him know. Because that did not look like a foul to me either. Oh, it's Dybala, of course. Of course. Dybala has a habit of doing that. The drama. Never an easy win with Milan, eh? Never. Cruising against Salernitana, 2-0. Excellent performance. Couldn't finish our chances. Looking good, but still up 2-0, so you feel like you're going to get the 3 points. Boom, 88th minute, you concede a goal. Now you got to be stressed out. Never a moment of peace as a Milan fan. 1-0 against Roma. I mean, to be honest, the way that Roma has been playing, I would say, Milan should be, it's going to be an expectation that's going to be a tighter game. Probably it is going to be a tighter game. But the way that Roma has performed, second half they've actually been slightly better. But the way they've performed till now, if Milan have been taking their chances as usual, we've said about our team so many times, we would have been up by more than 1 goal. Tammy Abraham on the right flank. Fikayo Tomori. Nice work from Fikayo. The 2 English players fighting with each other. Fikayo Tomori gets the better of Tammy Abraham there. Wins the ball. Free kick for Milan because Tammy fouls Fikayo in the process. I like it. 2 players that didn't get to go to the World Cup, so that says something as to how Gareth Southgate sees this Italian league. Pobega. Brahim Diaz comes off for Pobega? 3-man midfield. Okay, we're going defensive. So, looks like what Milan's probably going to end up doing is, if Diaz comes off, he gets taken out, Pobega comes up, he moves back in between Tonali and Benacer, is that defensive presence, and we have a 3-man front line with Alexis, Leao, and Giroud. So Milan's going defensive in the 70th minute now. Sometimes you just wonder how wrong you are, right? Because we're looking at this and we're saying, I'm looking at this, I'm saying, Benacer comes off, Pobega comes on, I'm intelligent, listen to what I'm saying. It's a yellow card that's going to come in factor. No, Pioli's like, no, I'm going to take Brahim off. We're going to go more defensive. We're going to go into a 3-man midfield, and here we go. I think one of the things that might be helping Milan slightly, and I want to be careful when I say this, what might be helping us slightly is that Roma hasn't really threatened an attack, right? If they were really threatening an attack, then maybe Milan would have responded a certain different way. But we just want to consolidate. Maybe the team believes that they can hold on to a 1-0 scoreline, which, by the looks of it up until now, and knock on wood, we have been able to, and we probably can continue to do that. Pobega's trying to get on this one. Can he actually score a goal? Alexis Salamakers. Alexis, edge of the box. Handball. Nope. Alexis, stay in the game. If there's a handball, it's going to be VAR. Stay in the game. So Sandro gets a yellow. So he's out of Lecce. Because I think they're fighting very aggressively for a bit of helter-skelter happening here. Okay, so Pobega, Alexis. Hold on. If that hits his arm, so Tonali is out of Lecce, but really, if there's any match he's going to miss. Come on, man. What happened there? Roma's playing like... Okay, Alexis. That's... All right. Probably no VAR call there. I think Pioli's received a yellow card. Roma's coach has received a yellow card, or one of the assistants. So really what they were fighting for was something that we're actually discussing, which was Benacer's yellow card. Roma players were fighting that Benacer should have received a second yellow because of the foul on Pellegrini in the build-up. Pellegrini's still on the ground, still getting the magic spray. Looks like Benacer's now been taken off, so I guess we're not as dumb as I thought. Or I am. Does look like Benacer comes off. Pioli takes him off, puts Vronks on. I mean, we've seen how Vronks has played in the past, so a player that Milan fans alongside Mattia are growing an affinity for, because they have been playing pretty well whenever they've been given an opportunity, but these are the real tests, right? You're playing a top 6 side, you're playing with a 1-0 scoreline. How are you going to perform today? So the commentators think that Benacer could have easily received a second yellow there because of that foul on Pellegrini. But the ref had already stopped the game, so he got away with it. We got Vronks. Oh, lovely ball out from Vronks. Just a little bit more, too much power on it. But that was actually a good idea from Vronks. But I like Alexis's commitment. I mean, it's 75 minutes in and he made the full run even though he knew he wasn't going to catch up to the ball. So 75 minutes in, not trying to conserve energy, going all out. And that's what Alexis does bring. No matter what anybody says about the team and whatever his individual performance is, he brings that extra spark. He brings that athleticism. He brings that electricity to the field for Milan. So just needs to translate that into something more tangible like goals and assists. But we've been waiting for that for a while, so let's see if that ever happens. Teo to Fikayo. Teo's avoiding those front darting runs up until now, from what we can see. Tatarusanu to Calabria. Calabria to Alexis. Alexis. Oh, that's dangerous. This is dangerous. This is very dangerous, guys. Pellegrini for the shot on from outside the box. Why? Why didn't you pass it to one of your teammates? Falls to Milan. Theo Hernandez. Vronks makes that pass. Rafael Leao with the ball. Can he pass it out to somebody? Rafael Leao goes out to... Oh, this should be a goal. Pobega Goal! Of all players. The player that I wasn't convinced. There we go, guys. There we go. That's... I mean, how often are we going to say that that's the genius of Pioli? How many times are we going to say that this man thinks differently from a lot of us? Definitely from me. Pobega wasn't even in my wheelhouse in my brain. That's why he's the coach and I'm the YouTuber. Oh, what a excellent switch. Lovely ball from Leao. I mean, after having a game where Leao hasn't been really that present in the match, he still goes out. He still goes out and Leao still finds a way to stamp his name into the game, gets that assist. In the last match, he got the goal, got the assist. This match, gets the assist. This is big time from Leao because he got the ball on the counter. He held on to it pretty well. Makes an excellent pass for Pobega. And Pobega, everybody would have probably expected Pobega to try and shoot with his right foot. I'm pretty sure he's right-footed. The expectation would have been for him to dispatch it with his right. He didn't. He switches to his left, nestles the ball into the back of the net, and makes it 2-0 for Milan. I mean, this has been a dominant performance from the boys. No question about that. It's been dominant. We saw the stats before. 70% possession in the first half. 2 shots on target. Roma had 0. 9 shots on target in general. 9 shots in general. Milan has been more aggressive. And this goal that just came about, probably slightly a little bit against the run of play. You could have expected that Roma was becoming a little bit more dominant and Roma was feeling good about themselves. I'll tell you what, guys, this performance, this goal, this win from Milan, it really tempts me to make some Milan content today, post-match. Go ahead, make one of those 4 takeaways. I might just actually do it because this has been a solid performance from the boys. I absolutely love this. playing against a top 6 team. For you to go against a top 6 team and do something like this is exactly what your team needed. So a lot of appreciation for Pobega. Now let's keep in mind, it's still not over. There's still a lot to do here. Let me just see what some of the comments here. Oh, there's been a lot more flowing here. I really appreciated this, my friend. Forza Milan, boys. Thank you for the super chat. You're very kind. Pobega, I'm sorry I doubted you. I am also sorry I doubted him as well. This is going to be dangerous. Come on, boys. We cannot concede a goal. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me every freaking match day. Paulo Dybala on the left flank. Matic. Roma's going to be going all out now, right? They're down 2-0. They need 2 goals. It gives an opportunity for Milan to score a third goal, though. But still, let's come back to the comments slowly. I'll try and talk to everybody. Once again, a lot of appreciation. Thank you very much for the super chat. We're approaching the 80th minute mark now. Milan up 2-0. This is looking good. This looks like it might be 3 points. This is what we need. Right here. This is the table that we're looking at. Milan dropped to 3rd place because of Juventus' good performance. But this is a scoreline that's going to push Milan back into 2nd place, pick us back to 39 points. Another correct result against a top 6 team, which is something that we have done multiple times this season and we need to continue doing. But this will create a separation of 5 points with Inter. That's good, approaching the halfway mark of the season. Keep in mind, 17th match of the season, guys. We got 21 games still to go, so long way to go. But this is a result you need against a top 6 team. Tata Rushanu, nice collect. Good work. Crowd getting behind Tata. He hasn't really been tested, so that is definitely a good thing for us. Maldini and Masada looking not really happy. Actually, Masada looks semi-depressed, but I'm sure inside they're very happy. They just they don't know how to express it. Now you got Milan, who at 39 points will take 2nd place. We have a 5-point difference. We're 5 points behind Napoli. That's a good thing. And we'll create a 5-point separation with Inter. That's also a good thing. And let's say, right, the number 1 goal for Milan is to make top 4, right? Number 1 goal, I would say, is top 4. Get the Champions League again. Get that 20 million bonus in your pocket. And then also try and win the Serie A title. Looks like it might be... Oh, what is Theo Hernandez doing on the right flank? Completely on the right. Theo Hernandez. That's a foul. That's a foul. Ibanez with a foul on Theo. This is in goal scoring range, right at the edge of the box. But going back to this table, then I'll go back to the graphic. If number 1 goal for the team is to make top 4 consistently, this will create an 8-point separation between Milan and Lazio. That's probably the number 1 statistic for me. Not the difference from Inter, not the difference from Napoli. For me, it is top 4 is key, no matter what. Because this is the long game. We're not in it for 1 season or 2 seasons. We're in this for the long haul, right? We're in this for the long haul, and the only way to make the long haul longer, or shorter actually, and bring quicker success is to keep making the Champions League, keep the sponsors coming, keep elevating your contracts with the teams with the groups that you're actually making sponsorship money from. And obviously your TV revenue continues to go up, your player quality improves. It's all important as long as you make top 4. So 8-point lead from Lazio in the top 4, number 1 statistic for me. And then 5 points behind Napoli, 5 points against Inter, ahead of Inter. So all good here. Let's go full screen for this free kick. Olivier Giroud. Giroud is really gonna step up for this kick. Interesting. Not Theo. Nobody else. Olivier. Couldn't even beat the wall. Why did Olivier take this free kick? Must have been something they're doing in training where he's taking these free kicks more often. All right. Milan give up possession. Let's look at some of your comments here. All right, let me go back and see some people questioning some things, right? Pobega for Brahim? Are you serious? Well, guess what happened, my friend? I was the same boat, so we got some WTMs in there. Why is CDK still not on? This is the difference between us and the coach. Somehow he just sees things. The man's Nostradamus. So, but I agree. I think CDK should come on now, probably. Give him about 5 minutes, or you know what? Actually, rest him. Why play him? There's no need to play CDK anymore. We're going to stay defensive. We're going to try and wrap it up, get the 3 points. So, Tonali misses next game. Nice. That is a little bit annoying, but if there's any game to miss, I think Lecce is... It's okay. Let him miss that one. Hey, Kush, loving the new setup. Excited for the new season. Sorry, joined late. I appreciate it big time. Thank you for joining. Oh, this is dangerous. And again, lots of new stuff to come on the channel. You guys have never seen anything like this from me. So I hope you guys enjoy it when I put it up. I wish we'd mic the refs for the viewers. Yeah, I mean, that's something that a lot of leagues do. CDK is coming on. So basically everything that I'm saying today about predictions about what Milan might do, pretty much everything's wrong. So most people say click the subscribe button. I'll say, you know, if you don't want to anymore, feel free to leave. Everything I've said has gotten wrong. But if you haven't already, click the subscribe button as usual, absolutely. And like the video, always helps. I don't ask for those things too much, but it'll help for sure. Drew starting to go missing again. Yes, it is true. And then Pobega scored. Good point. Every single time that we've seen him play, we have seen a decent amount of quality from Vronks, and that's always a good sign. Salamakers comes off. Gabia comes on. Interesting. So we're going into... What are we doing? What kind of formation are we going in if we put Gabia in the back? That's interesting. And CDK comes on as well. Once again, thank you. Pobega. Leao, top player. Great shot. All right, let's see this. Pobega comes on and scores. Are you sure the coach should be criticized for not putting on CDK? Man, the nerve of some fans. Are you sure the coach should be criticized for not putting on CDK? Paulo Dybala, Pellegrini. Dangerous. 85 minutes in, Milan up 2-0. We're cruising towards 3 points right now. This has been relatively easier than expected, but we still got 5 minutes, and there's something dangerous happening here. Tatarusanu. Positive goalkeeping, but very stressful. I mean, I was questioning the coach for bringing Pobega on, but here we go. Vronks should start more. It's been good. When Vronks plays, Milan's been good, so... That's true. Oh. I turned on the graphics, so now I know what's about to happen. But yes, they have a corner kick, and this is, as usual, we do this to ourselves. We do this to ourselves. We do this to ourselves, guys. Who's going to score for Roma? Ibanez. Guys, we can't keep doing this to ourselves. What goes wrong with this team? When does the switch off happen? Every freaking time. Every time you gotta do this. Every time. Every time. And we already switched to a defensive backline now. Now we got Gabia in there. We lost a lot of our pace up front. Took Alexis off. I mean, we got CDK on now. Vronks is down injured. And now the more that we spend time, right? So I don't know if you guys actually noticed this, but I picked up on something very interesting there. Vronks was lying on the ground, and one of Milan's players came and gave him a little tap on the foot. Like kicked him, like, are you actually hurt or not? Because if you're not hurt, get up. We don't want too much time added on. Because now we know what they're doing. They're not doing 3-4 minutes added on. They're putting up 8 minutes if there's too much time wasting. Which a move that I actually agree with. But this is going to be a cagey ending for Milan. Now Roma's going to be all out attack. It's only a matter of one goal. Dangerous ball in. Gabia with the clearance. It's like it doesn't change. It doesn't stop. 2 games in a row. cruising 2-0. 88th minute, I think, last game. 86th minute today. Belotti's coming on now. Dangerous ball in. Belotti comes on now. Stefano Sharawi's here too, so definitely don't want him to do anything against us. This is just a lot of stress. A lot of stress. I'm going to switch to the player ratings because I don't want to know what happens before, because it seems to be a little bit ahead of me. In the next live, I'll probably have a proper scorecard and everything going too. All right, we're approaching the final minute of the second half. It's going to be interesting to see how much time is added on. If I had to guess, I would say maybe 6 minutes is probably going to be added on. Just thinking about the goals scored. 2 goals have been scored in the second half. The injury to Benacer, the yellow card, Pellegrini's injury. It's going to be a sizable amount of time added on, and that's going to make things even tougher for Milan, because when you're in injury time, we saw what Monza did yesterday to Inter, and Milan just doesn't... Oh my goodness. De Ketelaere wins a free kick, gives up a free kick. I actually don't think that should have been a free kick. I can't really blame De Ketelaere for that. All right, here we go. Five minutes. Okay, so not 6, 5 minutes. I'll take 5 over 6. Oh, that's definitely a hand on Pobega's face. The thing is, like, if we pick up the 3 points and we win, that's good. We're happy to see that happen. It's just that you cannot keep having performances naturally where you are cruising and then you give up in the 88th, 86th minute 2 games in a row. It just says something about your mentality. Clearly, your skill level is good enough to go up 2-0. Just like against Salernitana, we could have had more than 2 goals scored today too. Dangerous ball in. Tammy Abraham with the shot, but 4 minutes left in injury time. But that's the issue. Is it becomes the point of contention then becomes your mentality and your mindset. You have to close the game off. You have to finish it off. Milan's straight up wasting time right now. I mean, they're going pretty hard on the time waste. And I'm not mad at that. I'm okay with that. As long as it's in our benefit, I'm okay with some time wasting. Pobega gives up another free kick. Oh, Leao can get that ball. No, he didn't. That could come back to Milan. Vronks. Oh God, it's a Roma ball. 3 minutes left. Roma with the throw in. 3 minutes in added time. This is a dangerous ball. Vronks, don't give up a foul. Oh, he gave up a freaking foul, guys. That's a dangerous free kick right there. I just don't understand why the guys are pushing them in the back. It's Dybala, man. You know Dybala's going to go down. I know Dybala's going to go down. Don't put your hands on his back. He's going to go down no matter what. Guys, this is a dangerous free kick. This is a dangerous free kick. Oh! Oh, what a save! I don't even know what to say. I can hear the Interista, right? The commentator's an Interista. He's so happy because it happened to him yesterday. Tata with a good save, but who did... Yeah, Kalulu just couldn't control Tammy Abraham there. Well, guys, there we go. Gave up 3 points for no reason. Absolutely squandered 3 points. Squandered, completely squandered. Seeing Dybala be this happy is just more annoying than anything else. You had an opportunity to get ahead of Inter. So unnecessary, this whole... I don't even know what to say. I've completely lost my voice. I mean, what the heck is all you can say? It's such a pointless giving up of 3 points. I can't hear these commentators talk. Shut the... Sorry, I almost swore there. I don't know. I'll keep watching the game, but that's 3 points given up. I mean, that's a ridiculous outcome from Milan. Absolutely ridiculous result. I mean, what can we really say there, guys? What can I say there? Absolute waste. I mean, what I was actually going on to say was that even if we pick up the 3 points, right? How good is that? If you keep picking it up like this, you score a couple goals, at the end you completely squander it. It's a top 6 team. You could have picked up 3 points from them. I mean, what a waste. What a waste. So let's see if we can do something here. We're into the 96th minute now. Sandro Tonali with the kick in. That's it. That should be game over, guys. That should be game over. But I mean, what do you say about that, right? You have 3 points in the bag. You just literally got to like buckle up the bag and take it out of your house. I mean, it's just a reflection on I don't even know what. I mean, the coach has to look at that and really, really assess as to what's going on with his team mentally, where they keep going up 2-0 and either risk it or squander it. I can't watch this. I got to turn this off. I've lost my voice. I mean, it's you kind of saw it coming against Salernitana. You had yourself in a position where you could have won the game comfortably. You didn't win it comfortably. You had to make it more complicated. I mean, the criticism has to come on everybody. The criticism has to come on the coach, on the players that were on the field. The unnecessary free kick that was given up by Vronks. That was a Vronks free kick on Paulo Dybala for no reason. For no reason. Just keep your fucking hands off the player. Just let him do his thing. Let him run, spin, rotate, whatever. Don't foul him. Don't foul him. It's the 94th minute of the match. Don't foul. Especially not there. You'd rather let them create something when they're in that position, the position that Paulo Dybala was in. You'd rather let him create something from there than give him help by fouling him and letting him take a free kick. And even conceding the first goal that we did, the way that we did, conceding that corner kick and then terrible defense. Well, I can't even call it terrible defense. I mean, it was just a good corner kick and it was just a good game plan. Sometimes Roma are not scrubs, right? They're a team too. They're going to score goals as well. Sure, you give up the first goal the way that you do. You can't give up the second goal that way. The wall also came into the play and actually got something done. I mean, it's frustrating to see. It's just, I don't even know what to look at or what to really talk about here. I mean, if I'm looking at your comments here, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to close this video off with something. I don't even know which one to start with here. I can't keep a clean sheet. Yeah. I can't even really blame Tata for that. I mean, what can we really say about Tata's performance there? He made, on the first goal, it was a corner kick, and you know, Tata's your last line of defense. He's not your first point of stopping actually what's happening. He didn't. Hold on, I gotta close my door here. I mean, you look at what is pretty much happening there. I can't really blame Tata on the first goal. I won't, because it's a corner kick. On the second one too, he actually did the job. He made that stop. He made a much more difficult stop, and we saw what happened after that. It was actually more on Pierre Kalulu for having to be able to stop Tammy Abraham. He didn't, and he got the goal there. Can't keep a clean sheet. As expected, 2-1. Man, I wish it was 2-1, my friend. I wish it was 2-1. My streaming laptop dies, and suddenly we can see yeah, I mean, come on, man. I wish your stream didn't die, because the freaking match ended up killing us. Kuch, I think you're too harsh on them. This is the second game of this season. The second half. Mistakes made will be hashed out as we play more games. I don't know if you still feel the same way, my friend. I don't know if you still feel the same way. Tata is terrible. Get him out of the club. Yes, I hear that criticism. Putting on CDK was a trash move. See, this is a comment that I actually have to kind of agree with, because when we had reached about that 86th minute mark, I don't think we needed to change anything. Anything. I don't know why we brought on the attacking players. We brought on CDK. We brought on Gabia. We switched our formation completely. We're playing with a certain formation. Suddenly we have 3 defenders in the back with Gabia coming on alongside Tomori and Kalulu. I think it kind of scrambled up the team a little too much in the pivotal time. You have survived for 86 minutes the way that we were playing. Right? I mean, if we look at... I'm just trying to find our lineup here, right? So for 86 minutes... Milan had survived with a certain type of formation. We'd basically been playing this way. And then suddenly in the 86th minute, we bring in CDK, we bring in Gabia, we change the way the team's approach defensively is going to be. You turn it into a 5-man backline, but you were working. The coach tried to kind of fix something that wasn't really broken. And as soon as that switch was made, that corner kick came into play. Now suddenly you have a degree of confusion as to where your center backs are lining up, who's covering who, because you have an extra defender there. You have a 5-man backline now. You end up conceding a goal. Now there's Helter Skelter. Now there's Vronx. Now you have a bunch of inexperienced guys in Vronx and Gabi, all these guys playing on. They concede that free kick, and now in your backline, you have a new defensive line. So again, it's just... an absolute, I mean, 10 minutes back, we were celebrating 3 points, and now suddenly I have to switch my entire mindset into complaining about this game. Which makes kind of a lot of sense, because that's what the world of an AC Milan fan really is, but we're tired a little bit. I mean, I'm a little tired. This was 3 points, guys. This was 3 points. We had 3 points in the bag. This was not needed. God, could have celebrated 3 points. Depression. Yes. That comment right there. Roma satisfied with 1 point. Yeah, well, they were. I don't know what this is. W, speed, W. I don't know what that means. Are you talking about that speed kid? Bro, my stream shut down at 2-0 and I come to see this. Yes. I'm sorry, Walter White. I'm sorry. Pioli cost this game with back substitutions. Now, to be reasonable to Padre Pioli, I'd say a little bit of both, right? He made the right substitution at a certain point of time. I think he overdid it. That's all that I think. I think he just overplayed it. Because after the conclusion of the game, or not the conclusion of the game, after the conclusion of 85 minutes, you have a 2-0 lead. You're good. Pioli, don't do too much. You're good. We're 85 minutes in, and we have a 2-0 lead. But no, we're going to make some substitutions. Now, let's see what substitutions he actually made, right? So, suddenly, in the 80, if we look at this, okay, the Pobega move and the Bronx move, I can't really complain about because it did add a better element to the team. That 85th minute substitution with Charles de Ketelaere and with Matteo Gabbia changed the game. And okay, I have a responsibility to be a little bit more careful how I phrase it. It didn't change the game, but it didn't help, right? I don't think we conceded goals because those guys came on, but it didn't help because when as soon as Gabbia came on, that free kick was conceded, or that corner kick was conceded, it scrambled the defensive line. That second goal just frustrating. And watching Tammy Abraham celebrate the way he is as if he won the World Cup. Watching Paulo Dybala celebrate as he is if he won the World Cup. Oh, wait. He did win the World Cup. I'm just going to try and see if maybe your comments can make me feel a little bit better, but this has been one frustrating performance. Very frustrating. Dada Rujano needs to go. We need a backup keeper. I mean, we do have the backup keeper now in Vasquez. Let's temper our expectation, guys. If we think too much about the second star, we're going to suffer. This team was not built to repeat, only to compete and stay in the top four. I slightly agree. As I said, when we were up 2-0, for me, the goal is top four. For me, the goal is to make that 20 million extra from the Champions League qualification and slowly grow the team. Because we're not going to have an owner who's going to come in and inject a bunch of freaking 100 million transfer mercatos. That's not going to happen. It's going to be a slow, arduous process which requires top four qualification. But when you're up 2-0 against a top six team, when you've done well against top six teams, close the freaking deal. 85 minutes in, up 2-0. Show the champion you are. Show the quality you have. You did for the first 85 minutes. They couldn't break through the defensive line. How come they suddenly did in 5 minutes? Why do we allow them to do that in 5 minutes? So I kind of agree we are a top four team, but when you're up 2-0, it doesn't matter if you're a relegation team or if you're a top four team or if you're a championship team. You have to close it out because you did the hard job for 85 minutes. And here we go. This is a good point. It's 17th game of the season. Let's not go overboard with what's going to be the outcome. We're still in the top four. I think now we slipped to the third place. Freaking serious? We're third place now? We're perfectly fine in second place. Juventus is just powering through everybody right now. Makes Serie A way more interesting, to be fair. But been in the same situation last season, except we were 7 points behind on match day 23, not match week 17. Well, there we go then. I don't think the frustration, my friend, for everybody is about where we sit or where we stand or what the standings are. I think the frustration is, why did you not close out a 2-0 win after 85 minutes of being up 2-0? That's the frustration, is we were done. We were 5-7 minutes away from just celebrating a good Sunday and just chilling and relaxing, not being stressed out about Milan. And here we are, I'm freaking complaining still. And this was not supposed to be the outcome. And that's what I think frustrates fans more than the actual long-term picture of what's going to happen this season and whatnot. Bronx literally gave away a pointless foul. That's it. That was it. Putting your back on Paulo Dybala. Paulo Dybala will go down if you just blow your air on him, right? That's the kind of player he is. Putting your hand on his back in that position was never going to be a good thing. But the fact that we ended up conceding from that is more frustrating. But yeah, Bronx didn't have to do that. Tough coaching choice by Pioli. He tried to go for the shutout and it backfired. No changes should have been made. I agree, Kush. yeah, I feel like we were fine. I think we were doing fine. We only had 5 minutes to close it out. What different could have Roma really done that they didn't do in the first 85 minutes? More intensity, right? More intensity. Maybe would have conceded a goal. But making too many switches and changes, especially in the back line, probably scrambled the whole game up defensively. Now suddenly Kalulu and Tomori are not vibing with each other and figuring out the defensive line together. Now they have to manage where Gabbia is. Now you have to make the switches correctly. That kind of throws off the momentum and throws off the kind of, I guess, focus or whatever they've had for the first 85 minutes. Who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I think it made a difference. Switch through a back. Exactly. I think we conceded after switching to a back three against Salernitana as well. Generally need a better backup, or else we can say goodbye to our title. I think you're talking about I think you're really going against the goalkeeper, my friend. I understand it, but I can't blame Tato Rushan on the second goal there. He actually did the hard part. He actually stopped the ball. His defensive line couldn't help him with the rebound. Agree, Kush, we're tired. Invest in the squad for the love of God. My friend, for the love of God, that ain't going to happen. That's something that people have to make their peace with. AC Milan is not going to be a spending club anytime soon. We need multiple Champions League appearances for the club to become that. But we are tired of a performance like that in the last 10 minutes. I mean, we were so comfortable for 85 minutes. This never looked like a draw. We're tired. We're so comfortable. We're cruising. Brahim was good. Behind Juventus now. Rub it in, my friend. I'm looking at the table. We're still third with 3 points over Inter and equal to Juve. That is true. I'm going to switch to the table view as well for a couple minutes. I'm actually going to go see how Twitter is responding to this result. But yeah, so here we are. Let me just quickly refresh this because clearly this guy's not doing it on its own. But yes, this is where we stand. So we're equal on points with Juve, right? 37, 44. Napoli is going to be celebrating this one for sure. I don't want to read anything on Twitter from Napoli fans. I mean, I've never come across a bunch of more foolish group of fans. I mean, you haven't won. Most of your lifetimes, you haven't even won a Serie A title. You guys walk around like you're like walking on air. Just win something first before you start pompously talking. But anyways, I mean, you got to deal with Twitter's a cesspool of, negativity. So stay away from that. 44 points for Napoli, 37 Juventus, 37 Milan, 34 for Inter. Inter's also going to be happy about this. I mean, they bottled their own game yesterday, but they're going to be happy how Milan kind of bottled their game too. So that doesn't help. Now, which angle was I going to take to this? Just going to see what you guys have to say here. Still earned one more point than Napoli in the last two matches. Juve versus Napoli this Friday. That helps. Milan plays Lecce. That helps us. So Juve versus Napoli this Friday. I actually forgot about that. That makes me feel slightly better. Because now you know one of them is going to drop points. Now you have an opportunity to capitalize. You lose Sandro Tonali against Lecce, but at least you got what you got right now. We have a good enough team to be able to beat Lecce, but we also have a good enough team to be able to beat Roma. We need to dip into the transfer window, even if it's loans. Possibly, probably what will happen. Any report that you see about a 25 million move, exit, buyout clause 30 million. My friends, don't do that to yourselves. AC Milan is not going to be spending 30 million on anybody. So don't get those hopes up. It's not going to work. I got a question. When do you think Zlatan will be back? Zlatan will be back probably in February, is more expected. Likely close to the Tottenham game is also expected, unless there's any type of a relapse or any situation. I think the more important question is how much of an impact do we see coming from Ibrahimovic? It's a dangerous question to predict and answer for. Mostly because of the wild freak that man is. He's 41 now? and he's playing at the highest level. A lot of people were talking about Cristiano Ronaldo's departure, and going to Al Nassr. Guys, if Ronaldo keeps playing well for even one more season, or maybe let's say 2 seasons, and he's crushing it there, he can absolutely make a move back to Europe, just like Ibrahimovic made. And Ibrahimovic didn't just make a move back to Europe, he won the freaking top 5 European title. So don't write off Ronaldo. You can never write off Ibrahimovic. I don't know how much of an impact he'll play. I mean, he's obviously a player who's going to be up front scoring goals. I don't think that goes away from him. It's just about how much can he help out, and is he a 90-minute player, which obviously, hold on, sorry, let me just scratch that. He's not a 90-minute player. Is he going to give you an hour in a match, or is he going to be coming in for the last 20 minutes? That's where you have to see what Ibrahimovic's involvement will be. And if he can somehow play 90 minutes, just get on your knees and bow down to the guy, because a player of that age should not be doing that to his heart. How do you feel about Milan going back into the Champions League? Tottenham predictions, UCL predictions for us. It's historic to see Milan go through the Banta era where we were just suffering and crying, and just pull through that. See this team make it to the 5th place, make it to 2nd place, make it to 1st place, into the knockout rounds of the Champions League. It makes you feel very, very good, very happy, excited. But at the same time, it's going to be a game. So I'm going to be coming out with a video about Serie A in the top 5 leagues and how it kind of performs compared to other teams, and why the league went down, how the league is coming back up. That's the video I'm putting out about it in a couple of days. Very different style of content that I've never put out ever. I've never even tried to create it. It's very complex. I hope you guys like it. In that, what I'm seeing is Champions League matches are statement games, right? Especially for Serie A teams. Serie A is close to the bottom in the top 5. Let's be real about that. Champions League matches can elevate their reputation back to going to the top 3. Right now, Serie A is probably sitting 4th, right? Maybe they compete with Bundesliga a little bit, but it's probably sitting in 4th for most people, because Bayern is winning the Champions League still. So Serie A has a point to prove when they play against Premier League sides, especially when you play against Premier League sides. We saw what happened when Napoli played Liverpool, and then we saw what happened when Milan played Chelsea. So Tottenham match is very important on multiple levels, not just the Champions League, but reputationally for Serie A. Other leagues, other players have to see the league and say, hey, Milan beat Tottenham. It's a good league. It's a good team. Let's go there. Players have to have that mindset towards Milan. So I think it's a very important game, not just for the football match of 90 minutes, but in the grand scheme of football for the Italian league. Predictions. I saw what happened with Milan and Chelsea, so it concerns me a little bit. And I try to be as realistic as possible. Now, my heart, I think Milan goes through. But my mind says it's not going to be very easy. Now, what helps us is that Tottenham is being coached by an Italian guy. A mindset that Milan is aware of, because we've played against Antonio Conte's side multiple times and beaten them too. Not multiple times, but sometimes we've beaten them. So there's some degree of comfort there, and Tottenham hasn't been in good form. That's probably the most important point of it all. So Milan has a chance. Even my mind says we can beat them. Zlatan said he wanted to be back for Supercoppa match. Well, let's see if that's actually something that Padre Pioli believes should be happening, because you don't want to risk any type of a relapse on a guy who's 41. I think we have a Coppa Italia match midweek this week against Torino before the Lecce match next weekend. Let's bounce back. We do? If we do, then yeah, definitely an opportunity to bounce back for Milan. Still crying over Tomori red at the San Siro against Chelsea. Yes, that one still, it came back to haunt the team quite a bit. In my opinion, this is just my take on it. I think it's a result that probably eliminated Tomori's chance of going to Qatar for the World Cup. I think if he had performed really, really well in that particular match, I think Gareth Southgate would have taken him to Qatar, but that didn't happen. So here we are. Now, where are we sitting here on this? Oh, let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think about today's performance from Milan? I mean, express away. Give me all your frustration. Once again, if you haven't already, subscribe. Click the like button. It helps. Video reaches out to more people. At least that's what everybody seems to say, so I'm just repeating what everybody says. I haven't really done a statistical analysis to see if that's the case, but looking at the final real report here on the players' performances, I think it's a little bit harsh on Tata Rushanu, I'll be honest. I think this is harsh on Tata. because his performance was not the worst. He is never really that convincing. Conceding the first goal is tough always on corner kicks. And the second goal, he did save that chance. I haven't seen a replay yet, so keep in mind, I haven't really seen anything. Maybe when I see the replay, I'll realize it was a bad stop from him. I can't believe, of all players, Pellegrini here walks away with the man of the match, because, I mean, they were done. In 86 minutes, they were done. How do we allow this? I mean, Calabria and Theo Hernandez performed well. I mean, how much more can I talk about those guys? They're always good. Kalulu was good. Fikayo Tomori, I don't know what kind of mistake he made for his rating to drop like that, but maybe he was actively involved in the first goal that Milan conceded on the corner kick. Tonali and Benacer, I don't know, that Benacer move, taking him off, taking Brahim Diaz off, putting Pobega on, looked like a genius move from our coach, but didn't work out. I mean, there's definitely going to be a decent bit of criticism on Giroud and Salamakers. You can see from their rating here, they're definitely rated a little bit low, but there's a certain criticism for both of them because Giroud's been pretty absent, and he had chances against Salernitana that he didn't take. So those two things factored together, they're not going to be, fans are not going to be very happy with Giroud's performance, and we're desperately crying out for that center forward who's going to be consistent and, quite honestly, younger, faster, a little bit more reliable. So Giroud's going to get it for this one, and so will Alexis. I mean, really, probably Leao should be getting it too. I don't think Leao's 7.4 from today. I think Brahim Diaz had, I guess Leao got the assist, so that's the rating that kicks up for him. But overall, over the 90 minutes, I just don't think Leao was what we really needed today. I think he could have done a lot better. Are you going live for midweek? I don't think so. I have to work on putting out the long form video that I'm creating right now. I'm working on it. It's going to take me a couple days to cut, chop, graphics, all that stuff that I try to do to make it as interesting as possible. So it's going to be hard for me. We're about 2 hours and 28 minutes into this stream. So I'll give it about a couple more minutes. We'll try and hit an even 2:30. But yeah, I probably won't be going live for the midweek fixture, but you never know. I might change my mind. But my goal is to get that video out about the rise and then fall, or maybe other way around, the fall and resurgence of Serie A. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Now, performance was good in my opinion. Choked at the end. Pioli should have not made any changes. It's not that was the changes. I think I've talked about that. Kind of agree on that. Giroud should have done the back heel, in which case he did the back heel a few times and he gave up possession. So I don't know which time. It's nice to have the live chat with the game. We're still in the title race and it's a marathon, not a sprint. We can still do it. That's a sentiment I have to absolutely agree with. As we've talked about it, the frustration about today's match is not how it impacts the table. The frustration about today's match is, why did it have to come down to it, right? We had the game. Why did we let it go? I think that's the main frustration that people have for today's match, not necessarily how it impacts our title chances. But you're absolutely right. We're still in the title race, very much so. Now, I want to thank you guys for joining today's live. I really appreciate it. I had a good time. It's been a while since I've done a live, so I, once again, appreciate you guys joining. Just to give you a little bit of an update, Football Kush, not the Milan Corner. I'm going to keep making AC Milan content. I will be doing 4 takeaways in a few weeks. Right now, I'm just trying to put out a different style of content for you guys about Milan, about the league, about football in general, something interesting that, is informative. I considered changing the channel name to Football Stories because I wanted to put out some interesting, intricate stories that maybe you haven't heard of. And that is what I'm going to be doing. The first video should be coming out on Wednesday. So I really hope you guys watch that. The fall and resurgence, the eventual resurgence of Serie A and how it can happen, what went wrong, how it's going to get fixed. So I'm fully working on that right now. And at the same time, these lives and making 4 takeaways and rumor or real about the transfer mercato, I'm going to be slowly bringing it back. So just be patient with the channel. Be patient with me. I'm just trying to put a few things together. I just want to evolve the channel now from just AC Milan and just the 4 takeaways. I want to do some more stuff. I like creating content. So I appreciate you guys joining. We're 2.5 hours in. I mean, a frustratingly annoying result for Milan, but we're still in the title race, as the last comment said. And yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Once again, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button, hit the like button. All those things help the channel. And thank you for joining. And I'll see you guys soon, Wednesday. Watch out for the video. Oh, as always, Forza Milan, grazie mille.